Hey everyone, it's Troy Jackson with this week's weekly update. And this week, a lot of things going on, like it has been for a while now. But one of the big things that actually happened was that we were actually on a call with the White House about childcare. Now, childcare is something that we've been talking more and more about, the challenge that we're having. I mean, we basically have a broken system right now of people that can't find childcare. What childcare providers are out there are having a hard time to stay operational, having a hard time to pay the people that work for them, and we're really in a bind right now across this entire state with childcare. Businesses that are scrambling for workers all the time, and the biggest challenge that they have of getting people in the workforce is they don't have childcare. People need to have the peace of mind that they're leaving their kids at a place that has high quality, that their children are safe, but at the same time, those workers and the people that run these need to be treated like the professionals that they are. This same issue is happening across the United States. I mean, we had legislators from all around the country talking about these same challenges. I think it just stresses how important childcare is in this economy and in this world we are in today. And so we got a lot of bills that we're trying to go at this with. A lot of my colleagues have tax credits. I have a bill to try and pay providers and workers more. And that's some of the things that we're really going to be working hard on to try and get done this year. That's why I am very honored to be here with all of you today, and honored to be part of this with the White House. I'm looking forward to the partnership with all of you to make this better for all of our states. I know over the past weeks, months, even last year, we talked about the Northern Maine Transmission Line, but this week we had another movement on it, and that is that the legislature created a statute that said that any transmission line has to come back for the legislature for legislative approval. We had that hearing this week. We had great testimonies from people across the state about how important this was and how this is the key to creating more economic opportunity, creating more renewable, cheap power coming out of Aroostook County. And it was a really big deal, and I was really quite pleased with the outpouring of support we had for it. So stay tuned for that. That's something that the legislature is going to be voted on soon. And obviously, the idea of breaking ground on that project is going to happen, within the next couple of years here. So another bill that we helped present on this week was Representative O'Neill's Forest Advisory Board. Now, this is something that we actually talked about 2 years ago and actually worked really hard on. Representative O'Neill brought it back this time with some tweaks to it. But this is a really important issue. I mean, throughout the entire state government here, we have advisory boards on inland fisheries, marine resources. I mean, you name it, the things that we have people from the public coming in to actually explain to people in state government. And we don't have anything in that regard on forestry. I think this is really important that loggers, truckers, people that understand the industry get a better opportunity to at least put their issues forward. I think that's always a good thing whenever people in the public get a chance to make their opinions heard here at state government. And for anyone to be against an advisory council like this when we have all kinds of them across state government is really quite surprising to me. So stay tuned for that. That's probably unfortunately going to be a controversial thing as we go along here, but it's unfortunately people that are on the end trying to make sure that people on the outside don't actually get their voices heard, and I'm going to always fight against that. I'm amazed that something as simple as an advisory group has become such a flashpoint for so many in state government. But with that, let the games begin, and I'll take any questions. And finally this week, it's the 13th anniversary of the signing of the Affordable Care Act. This is obviously something that I'm very supportive of. I mean, I believe strongly, very strongly, that health care is a right in this country. And the Affordable Care Act did a lot of things to try and bring that right to fruition to more people. I mean, you have here in Maine, we have, I think, almost 80 or 90,000 people now that are on Maine Care, working class people that are now be able to take advantage of Maine Care. We've done things to make sure that people with pre-existing conditions, things like diabetes, heart issues, for insurance companies to be able to throw you off insurance before. Now that's not the case. And being able to fight for better prescriptions, things like that, all these things, came forward because of the Affordable Care Act. And I know, firsthand that we're nowhere close to where we should be in this country for people to be able to afford health care, but certainly we're moving, closer to that goal and away from big insurance companies basically trying to, maximize profits on the backs of people. And that's why, we got to keep working at this. I mean, the Affordable Care Act was a great start because it was certainly a crack in the armor that big pharma, big health insurance industry have had over people for far too long. And with that, it's the end of this week's weekly update. I am, really excited to see you next week. We got a lot more going on. Like I said, it's really quite hectic here, but I want to make sure you all take care and look forward to seeing you next week.